What you're looking at on the screen, the Christian God, is Yahweh, the ancient Israelite deity, a tribal God. That's why Christianity is rooted in Israelite identity. That's why so many Christians feel a mysterious connection to Israel, or believe their bloodline is tied to that land. The religion itself is built on the foundation of a people, a nation, and a God that belongs to that nation. The Bible tells them this over and over, yet most respond only with faith. That's why they can't prove God exists, because Yahweh never had a human image. Scripture makes it clear, He is a spirit, not a man, not bound by flesh. Ask yourself this, what kind of all-knowing being asks you to worship it in spirit only? What kind of deity asks for devotion you cannot touch, see, or verify? That's exactly what Yahweh does, and every Christian obeys, worshiping a God whose origins are tied to one specific nation. And here's the deeper truth. All those experiences Christians claim, He appeared to me, I felt His presence, I heard His voice. All those things are exactly how the tribal God appeared to the Israelites in the Bible. Every miracle, every vision, every encounter recorded in Scripture is tied to a people, a land, and a culture. Christians today are not inventing these experiences. They are inheriting them from thousands of years of tribal worship. They read the Bible, they worship, they internalize the stories, and after generations of faith, their brains make them experience it themselves. That's how a tribal God continues to manifest through belief. Yahweh in the Bible, proof He is Israel's God. Exodus 3:15, God tells Moses, I am who I am, and identifies Himself as Yahweh, the personal name of Israel's God. Deuteronomy 6:4-5, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God, Yahweh is one. Deuteronomy 7:6, For you are a holy people to Yahweh your God. He has chosen you above all peoples. Exodus 20:2-3, I am Yahweh your God. You shall have no other gods before me. Psalm 147:19-20, He has not dealt thus with any nation. His rules they have not known. 1 Kings 8:23, Solomon prays, Yahweh the God of Israel, there is no God like you. Isaiah 43:1, But now, thus says Yahweh, who created you, O Jacob. Note, in most English Bibles the name Yah appears as Lord in all caps, that is Yahweh. The tradition of replacing the sacred name with Lord hides the tribal Israelite origin of this deity from casual readers. The name Yahweh appears over 6,800 times in the original Hebrew Bible. Every clear reference is tied to Israel's identity, covenant, and narrative. Yahweh is repeatedly presented as the God of Israel, not a generic universal deity acknowledged by all nations from the start. Look at it carefully. Yahweh is described as the God of Israel, specific to a tribe and nation. He is invisible, intangible, and spirit, not something you can touch, see, or prove with the senses, and yet millions worship Him as if universal. The word God is just a title. It means deity, a being worshipped and revered. That wordplay masks the tribal roots and the invisible spiritual nature of what they call God. So if you dig, if you research, if you look beyond the pulpit, you'll see the truth. Yahweh is the Christian God. Yahweh is a tribal God, not a universal God. Yahweh is a spirit, not human, not material. Christianity's universality is built on a foundation that started with a single nation. Every Christian is worshiping a God whose origin is tied to Israel. Yet they are told to worship in spirit only, obeying an all-knowing, unseen deity. All the visions, miracles, and encounters Christians experience today are inherited from how the tribal God appeared to the Israelites, internalized over generations of faith, made real in the mind by belief. Final thought. A question for reflection. Black people, how is this your God? An African, worshiping a deity born from a specific nation in the Middle East. Israel. You are told you are now the new Israel on a different continent, but your God is not African. Your faith is built on the experiences and stories of a tribal people thousands of miles away. Ask yourself, whose God are you really worshiping, and why do we call it ours? This is the deep, uncomfortable truth that most will never confront, yet it's written into the very foundation of the religion they call universal.